Mhm.
Good morning.
Morning, Bill. You're almost always first.
Oh, yes, I expected not to be first this morning, but
You're still first.
yeah.
You're a good student. You're first.
That's what my mother wants.
Oh, okay. Uh,
Oh,
how are things over there today?
okay, okay.
Good.
Yeah, sun is out a little,
Oh, is
so
it
yeah, a little.
a little? Okay. I'll take a little.
Yeah,
As you saw, we lost a big tree in the backyard.
yeah, yeah.
He Well, I guess he was here taking it down when you were
Yes, yeah,
cutting it up.
yeah, cutting it up, blowing away the leaves when I left.
Yeah, it's part of the process. I just
Yep.
heard Carol's backup beep, so they're here.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, she has not ever turned that off on her car.
Huh.
So um, I always know when she's here because she backs into park.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, Mr. Bynum will join us.
Yeah.
Um, Adam is still part of the class, but not in not not here in person.
Yeah. Yeah. How is he doing?
Last I talked to him, he was doing okay.
Okay.
Apparently extremely busy at the hospital.
Yeah.
Um, Seems like they're constantly changing things, and so, but he's doing okay.
Okay.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Just waiting for Mr. Bynum here. We have Mr. Nagel.
Wait a minute, he said at one point he wasn't going to be, was that last week? We were going to like Maryland.
Oh no, that's been.
Been.
That's over. Good morning, Carol.
Lost track of.
No kidding. Uh,
Yeah. Sometimes it's a good defense mechanism. There are more important things I have to really remember.
It's, it's interesting now at this age, what I do remember and what I don't remember.
Right.
I certainly don't remember the way I used to,
No.
but
Yeah,
I still remember a lot. Uh, well,
And I found that this weekend because I was at this Peace and Justice Studies conference, right?
yeah.
And they're all academic. So it's not just that like you remember what you're trying to say, but like they have certain words they use. Which I don't necessarily. I mean, I know what the words are, but like, it's just kind of not in my mind in the same way.
And if you don't use them, they don't understand.
Oh, they correct you.
Oh, not only that, they correct you. Oh, I see.
There were a few people. One guy, a librarian, I met, he was like, yeah, he was a little snotty then. But,
Could be worse.
at
At least he was there.
least he was there. That's true. Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
He's not somebody who normally goes. He's actually.
Well,
college, so he's a little
I-
surprised to meet me. I was surprised to meet him, but.
I think we should not sit and wait for
Wait
Mr.
for him.
Sometimes he
He
has.
didn't text you.
Well, no, he didn't text me. I haven't been on my email this morning, so. That's always a possibility. But he may join us. So. How's your qua opening and closing?
Well, I've been enjoying paying more attention to it.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is good. And what time I've been able to practice, which isn't as much as I'd like.
Yeah. Do you find that you can open and close the rest of your body with it?
I haven't been focusing on it being open and closed, just trying to be aware,
Uh-huh, okay.
which is,
Well, that's
gotta have that first.
absolutely, absolutely.
Certainly I'm aware of energy movement
Yeah,
beyond it, but
good.
just trying to focus on how is this running the show.
Because indeed, the Kwa is one of the places that can run the show. That's absolutely, absolutely.
I did a little bit of the form without arms,
Uh-huh.
the woman. And that was not, that was good.
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah.
Did you feel the quad more in doing that?
But yeah, because I'm not paying attention to the arms.
See, I have to pay attention, not using the arms. It drives me crazy. I'm not good at doing it without the arms.
Well, so that would be a good practice.
I know. I know it's good for me. Got medicine.
It's a stage, particularly with the form, to really spend some time focusing on that. Because it changes your awareness of what's happening elsewhere in the body. Bill, how about you?
Well, not perfection quite yet.
You aren't
Yeah.
perfect yet,
It takes 16 years.
or another one.
At least one more.
Yeah, what it does when I concentrate on the Kwa is to replace the lower Dantian, which I then don't pay much attention to. I don't know whether that's good, bad, or indifferent, but I don't seem to be able to hold both together at the same time in the same way. But I do feel that the Kwa actually drives the show more than the Dantian. So,
When you focus on it,
yes.
yeah.
I should say it drives the show better when I focus on it than the Dantian does when I focus on it.
That's interesting.
Mhm.
So
Understand.
what you said about the Dantian and the Kwa, I mean, it's obviously we're right back to separate and then combine.
Yeah.
Because eventually one should be aware of both, along with a lot of other
I was just
places,
saying,
all at the same time without having to focus on one or the other.
Yeah.
But that's it sounds to me like you're doing just fine. And developing the Kwa, which is a really important cavity to be focused on.
Yeah.
Since it is one of the three places in the body that can effectively be the leader of the band, or whatever term we'd like to give to that.
yeah, I think like I said last week, I've done work on the Kwa before, and so it, but it, and then you kind of go on and forget about combining, sometimes. But I think that it does make me far more aware of my whole body. And particularly in God's, but I had a little more struggle when I tried to do a flow, kind of pulling it all together. I was like, what is going on? Well, maybe we'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
But I do have a sense of it. I think I've been developing that for a while, but again,
Yeah.
kind of just pulling it all together and
good.
remembering yeah. I mean, I kind of feel like sometimes like, oh yeah, it's connected to my head and my feet, but what about everything else in between? Somehow. You know,
It's all a process.
yes.
There it
Ah.
is.
We have a name.
We have a face.
Aha.
Hello. Hello. Embarrassingly, I overslept.
Ah.
Well, obviously you needed to, so that's fine.
Uh,
Are you awake now?
I am awake now, yeah. I'm not nourished as usual, but I'm awake.
We've,
Why I said that
we've all been discussing our growing awareness of the qua cavity and the rest of the body. Any thoughts from you?
Yeah, the body's the thing, I guess.
Okay.
Well, very sharp for someone who hasn't eaten breakfast yet.
That's it, huh? Okay.
Yeah, well, that's as deep as I can go at this moment. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So anybody have any questions? Okay. Don't have to.
Like I said, I have more with the flow than I do with God's.
Well, we'll talk about that
I'm
later.
sure we will, yes.
So I'm gonna complicate things.
Oh, we're shocked, David, we are shocked.
It does seem to be what I'm doing
You
these
do,
days.
and we appreciate that, sure.
So I'm gonna add another really important cavity, and that is the midriff. Ah. So what is the function of the midriff cavity? So first of all, in this sense, Taoism and yoga are not all that different. In Taoism, they talk about transferring energy along the left and right channels. And when there are the big, either clogged or released points, in yoga, they just talk about them in terms of being blockage points, and they call them the guanthas, or the gates of the body. Now, along the left and right channels, you have your qua, but you also have the shoulder's nest, and then you have the midriff, and you have your armpits. So these are the big power movement, power generation points, and power transfer points in terms of energy moving through the left and right channels. So where is the midriff cavity? So it really is not all that hard to be aware of that. If you simply feel the bottom rib and the top of your hip, to begin with, it's halfway in between, but it's centered on that side channel. Here I'm on my right side, so it would be my right right channel, and in the middle of the body, which is where that channel is flowing. So it's not on the surface. And
Below the liver.
it's not in the liver.
I know.
It's below the liver.
Okay. So if we look at where actually is the midriff point. So that's the point on the side. But the midriff cavity point is in the body on the left and right channels. And this is where you have the major cavities. There is also an energy gate inside there as well, as a matter of fact. So the energy gate is in the center of the cavity at the midriff. This is really unusual. That's not true of really any other major cavities that I'm aware of. Now you want to put your mind inside the energy gate and pulse it. And you can take the fingers on both sides and actually go push into your body. You have to go about 4 fingers width, give or take, and find where that energy gate is. But it's not only a gate. There are 2 things in there. One is a gate which energetically pulses, but more than that, there is a cavity around the gate which moves fluids and energy. And there are transference points. They are transference points of everything, not only going up and down the left and right channels, but also crossing the body. So you have to find that midriff cavity. If we look at where the midriff is, you have to go in to where the side channel is going down and up. Your objective is going to be to make the contact so you can open and close it. And this is a very important point because the gate is what makes sure that the energy in the bottom travels through to the top and continues along the whole channel. Because if this shuts down, what is coming from your arm is not going to reach to the legs, and what is coming up from your legs is not going to make it fully to your arms and head. So you will just have diminished capacity. So what we're looking for is that the midriff is going to open up. It also controls a few other things in the body. It is very much responsible for the diaphragm not collapsing, which does collapse in most people's bodies. It is also very responsible for the vertebrae in the middle of your spine. So it has all these functions. 2 points. Number 1, it is important when you open and close this cavity that you don't lift your chest or your head. That will block it. You want just that area going up and down. You don't want to have your diaphragm going. It is just strictly within the cavity that the motion should occur. Now, when you first start, most people try to make the bottom and try to take the bottom and lift the top. And then they try to take the top and make it go to the bottom. It's better if you take the top and the bottom and cause the pulsing to happen in the middle, right in the gate and the cavity, between the two of them. So this can be actually one of the more difficult cavities to really be aware of. We've certainly talked about not allowing the midriff to collapse because we know that that's a negative. But really being aware of the cavity in there and its opening and closing is a step further,
Mm.
deeper.
Mhm.
So what I want you to do is to stand up. I'll stand with you for a moment. Take a moment to land. And stepping out to shoulders width. You really want to let your breath slow and lengthen. You really have to extend your mind through your body so that you can really feel what's happening within your body. And I know that you can all open and close to some extent. So first, just in general, have a sense of opening and closing the whole body. It's not a muscular movement, an energetic one. Then focus your intention to locate that midriff cavity. See if you can begin to feel it pulsing open and close with the rest of the body. And I will say, if you can really feel that, you will feel it change the flow of the energy through your body. Now, holding on to that awareness of the cavity, begin to do movement 4. Also being aware of how this is affecting your kidneys. Cavity is not in the kidneys, but it is very important in bringing energy into the kidney. And complete the next one, pause. So, are you, what do you feel in regard to that?
This is the first time I can recall really trying to find this. We've not, where the others we've all talked about before, right? Sitting there, picks in the cloud. So I have I'll say fuzzy feeling.
Of what?
A fuzzy, maybe vague, fuzzy. I mean, I understand, but I felt the results of it.
Mhm.
So in other words, I'm trying to focus on it and the pulsing of it. But the channels felt stronger, the energy in my body felt stronger, and it felt that it was moving through my entire body.
Good.
So that's a reward.
Yeah, no. So that the intent is at least beginning to focus into the area.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Good. Someone else?
I could focus in the area, but I can't claim a real awareness at this point. So,
It, as I said, this is one of the more difficult ones to really develop an awareness of. We have talked about it, but in the past, but it's been probably a couple of years since we did. And it is a very important cavity because of the fact that it controls that flow through, particularly the left and right channels, through the entire body, which is part of why if you allow the midriff to collapse, it doesn't allow the cavity and the gate to pulse fully. So
yeah. I mean, my biggest awareness there, like maybe all of us, is because we do the breathing, is the diaphragm, the breathing, and you know, and thinking about the Dantian, which is right in the same vicinity there, it's the lower Dantian, and so to shift awareness to the cavity, maybe those awarenesses are interfering for me anyway.
So yeah, again, that's part of the separate and then combine, is practicing to where you can be as fully aware as you can of each one, and then allowing them all to be present at the same time without having to focus on one or the other. Easier said than done. Mr. Nagel?
Interesting. I was aware of a pretty robust flow in the side channels, you know, from the feet all the way through the arms, you know, but I still haven't fastened on the midriff as a cavity. You know, I can deal with the, you know, the armpits being a cavity, and the claw being a cavity, and maybe my brain. But seriously, I the midriff area, as I imagine it, is just full of stuff. And, I'm having trouble fastening on it as a cavity, although I sensed the energy flowing through that because my intention was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that.
So it said, because we're looking at things that we have not focused on for quite a while, and some of them very little in the past. It's all part of the learning process. So you're not bad or incapable because you don't feel it immediately. It takes time. Carol?
I have trouble being aware of both sides at the same time. And my right side is my dominant side, but it's also the one with the most pain and discomfort. So it's like it's hey, and the left side is just saying. So I was trying to give my left side some more attention.
Yeah.
Just in that, and it was useful to me to have the kidney
Yeah, kidney connection.
association.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
you know, trying to keep my awareness inside is a challenge.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing I would say is, as you begin to really focus on opening and closing the cavities and the gates. To really be aware of being consistent in the physical movement simply because it's the outside
Mhm.
that can sometimes get in the way of the inside. And 4 is a place where as I was watching you, I won't pick anyone out because it wasn't just one person.
But just say it, we'll know.
Yes, you will. Is being aware of the fact that when you get to the top, that's when you're extended. And the bending,
Mhm.
the closing is going down. So what I was seeing was that some of you were going to hear. And as long as you
Mm.
haven't fully closed your body at that point,
Mhm.
that may work. But it is an indication that you need to perhaps think about the fact that you want to make sure that the opening is carrying through and the closing is carrying all the way through. You don't want to go, don't want to close off the cycle,
Mhm.
which needs to have no breaks.
Right.
So,
And also the arms come, I think for a while, I don't know what I was doing. I don't want to remember that. Just remembering they're also coming in closer as they come
Yeah.
down. Yeah.
so they have someplace, if they don't go out here, they don't have someplace to
Yeah,
bend
to come
from.
into,
If they go here,
well, yeah.
they've already done it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you just
yeah.
kind of, yeah.
So I just throw that out.
Uh-huh.
Because it,
David, one of the things you said in reading about the cavity was you don't raise your head, and something about the diaphragm, which seemed a little contradictory to the way that I think of that of the
so
flow.
so we're thinking you don't, what that's saying is don't use raising the head to try to move the cavity.
Oh,
You do have to lift the head slightly off the top of the spine, or that cavity at the jade pillow gate doesn't open and close.
mhm.
So yes, there is a lift there. And obviously the diaphragm has to move or you don't breathe well, but you're not using the diaphragm to move the cavity.
Mhm. Mhm.
And the intention there is not to freeze the diaphragm, but to not make it dependent on the movement of the cavity. That okay, Bill?
Yeah, the way in my mind I'm paraphrasing that is we haven't changed, but I think of the more physical aspects of the movement, even though they're connected energetically, but we're increasing awareness of the cavity.
Yep. Yeah, we're not changing. You're not changing the breathing. You're not changing the basic structure, except bringing new awareness to keeping the midriff open. But no, this is not something that changes anything that we've established before. So I didn't mean to mislead you in that way, if I did. Any questions or other thoughts at the moment?
I have a question about pulsing,
Sure.
that, is the pulsing the rhythmic in and out, opening, closing? Or is there some sort of going on, like it's, my heart is pulsing at a different rate
Right,
than my
right.
breath. And am I supposed to be feeling something going? Because I'm not.
Here and there and there.
No, the pulsing, both the pulsing and the opening and closing of the cavity are at the same rate.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. Then I don't have to
Yeah.
worry about trying to find something that's.
It's what's different is what each of them does. That's the distinction. Because the pulsing in each of the joints of your fingers is moving the energy through your finger. The pulsing of the cavity in your armpit, well, yeah, there's no reason not to use the arm through your armpit, is, among other things, increasing the flow of all the energy into the arm.
Mhm.
And then each of the joints or each of the energy gates keeps it moving through.
So that the opening is allowing it to get through and the pulsing is pushing. Sort of. Yes, no.
Sort of.
Makes sense.
I like I guess it's maybe Bruce's image. The cavities are like power transfer stations. If we didn't have power transfer stations, electricity would not flow through all the grid equally. So that's what a cavity is doing in terms of that. It does other things too, obviously. Whereas the gates are they're the joints along, they're the lines coming into your house. They're the individual points, keeping that flow going through also. But that's just another way of looking at it, I think. That
No, I'm going to, okay, and is the Dantian the step up and step down transformer?
You're thinking too much, Ken. Yes. No. No.
Every day you're on great courses, isn't it? So,
Oh.
you go there and that's where I'm going.
I'm kind of more to the real simple Luddite kinds of,
Yeah. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
Most important thing for us is feeling it.
Right.
It is good to think about it and understand the principles, but that eventually we go way beyond that. I don't know, at this point, I don't know how many years ago it was when I suddenly realized that I had gotten opening and closing to flow through my whole body, and that it was moving, particularly when I was just standing, that it was just moving my arms, and it was moving my whole body very
Mhm.
subtly, so subtly you can't see that really. But that all of a sudden that made a huge difference. And for those of you working on the Wu style, um, that's the first posture.
Mhm,
It's just standing and opening and closing,
mhm.
so that you're prepared to open and close as you go all the way through the form, which we're also trying to do all the way through God's, which is what I'd like you to try now.
It's interesting. The last practice I did with gods, for some reason, as I was just kind of trying to get settled in or whatever, I moved in a way that said, "Oh, my midriff, I never think about that." You know, in terms of God, it collapsed a little. I was like surprised. So
Yeah.
it's kind of kind of interesting that now we're working on the midriff when it was the first time I really thought about it in the wrong way, not just in an awareness way. I guess
Yeah.
I should say, not wrong.
And you know, in these movements, that's a really important awareness, because it's very easy
To tuck and collapse.
to
That's what it was. I was
yeah,
doing.
to
Yeah,
feel that.
tucking and then suddenly going down here. Yeah.
So how do you do those sinking and bending movements, particularly in 2, 3, and 4,
Yep.
without allowing the midriff to close down,
Right.
not just
Right.
close.
Right.
Yeah. So just do 10 reps. Unfortunately, we don't have time for you to do 20, but you could try that at home.
Yes. Try, don't try it. You'd say always.
Is it easier to be aware of the midriff in some postures than others?
Yes. I would say yes.
What effect did it have to be focused on the midriff?
I did feel a higher level of energy flowing. Particularly in the yeses rather than the hmms of the posture. 7 was very confusing to me. Just when you think you're like, oh, I'm kind of getting it, then you're like, oh, where did this go? Okay, how's this coming into it?
Actually, it should help 7.
It should help 7. I was aware of that. I was very aware of that. Probably more in 7 than anywhere else.
Right.
But I think it'll be interesting practicing this week and kind of being able to look at each of them and kind of, where are we and what questions do we bring back next week?
Good.
I think for me 6 worked pretty well for that. And actually I had a little mind lapse, and when I started doing 4, I was doing 6 at first and then switched back to 4.
Oh, yeah.
But 4 and 6 both seem to be the places that are easiest to start to have some awareness there.
Oh, good. Mr. Nagel?
Yeah, I'm trying to process. I think, well, what I've been trying to do anyway is to let go of thinking about my hands need to go here, my body needs to go here, my claw needs to do that, and just make literally a flow so that it starts at the beginning and ends at the end, and nothing interferes, and there are no little jiggles in between. Having said that, I think focusing on the midriff thing had helped me to keep it going without separating out into, oh, I've got to do this or I've got to do that.
Yep.
So
having a focus helps.
Yes.
Think so much.
Yeah, I actually found that a few times. Yeah.
Good.
It's funny because we have different foci over the weeks, but that one was different than the armpits or the quad. Maybe because I'm anywhere more familiar with the armpits than the quad.
Yeah.
But I did see that. Yeah.
Anything for you, Carol?
I tend to focus, remembering anyway, on the difficulties sort of. And at one point, my arm was not exactly right, and focusing at that point, shifting the focus to the armpit helped open that. So that was very nice.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, good help if you're having pain on that side.
Yeah, absolutely. Son of a
Open it up, lengthen it. Also,
Yeah.
Good. Well, practice this a little bit this week, and bring your questions back.
Yes. Write them down when you have them.
Write them
That's
down.
what I have to do.
I have said that a million times.
You have.
But rarely have I seen it.
I've done it a few times. I still actually have some of those pieces of paper all in my folder.
Yeah. Good. Any last minute thoughts, Bill or Bill?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you
Thank
guys
you.
next week.
Yes, have a good week, everyone.
I think Bill Byron just wants to go eat breakfast. Or have a
I
good
can't
coffee.
blame him.
No, I can't blame him either. He's kind of like, last week I usually have a smoothie in the morning, which I find good, but last week maybe I drank it a little late. My stomach was really like too full or too, it's just like
Yeah.
bubbly. I was like,
Oh,
this is
no.
not good. So I skipped the smoothie this morning. I had something else because I need to, but it's like maybe it was a little too nice.
Uh, yeah.
No, I was just thinking of 7. I was like, I don't want to go over that class again now. We have more questions. I'll process those
Well,
questions.
7 is a place where you could easily collapse the midriff.
Yeah,
Yes.
That's
absolutely.
But that's always something
what's-
we've kind of been
what's-
aware
what's
of, right? Like,
happening.
So
Wait,
it,
Yeah.
it is indeed a question in 7. How do you keep the midriff open and open and close the cavity
right,
and do the movement?
that's all.
without making it, well, I suppose it could make it just so small that it's not visible.
Well, sometimes making it smaller is a good step.
Mm,
That's, exploring exploring with making it smaller or larger often is very helpful because you discover different things. So you discover how to work through what may have been a problem the way you were doing it before.
uh-huh.
That's part of why Master Joe always said to, particularly in forms, to practice them at their extremes sometimes. Make it go as slowly as you can and not lose any precision. And then go as fast as you can and not lose any precision.
Mhm. I found myself at the beginning of this going very slow.
Mm.
I think just to make sure I was.
I think it
Oh,
really
yeah.
helps to take some time before you start and get the breath to slow down as much as you can,
Uh-huh.
so that the movements can be slower. It just gives you a little more time to
Yeah.
focus on what you're trying to do.
Yes.
So, shifting to
I've been shifting that car all weekend.
You
Oh my
you were
God.
driving.
I was actually a little worried just because the clutch on the left foot, it has to go all the way down to start the car, and I can kind of. That's where I feel my energy. That's where it goes up in the head, and anyway, no, I'm trying.
Well,
I was on the highway most of the time, so.
I have to say, it seemed to me today you were protecting your knees, which is probably a good thing.
Yes, yeah, the knees I both was in the car and having to do, I drove up and I drove about 12 hours this weekend.
Oh,
Maybe
God.
more coming back from Voluntown. Yeah, in a clutch car. And I was at Swarthmore where the dining room is a good 10 minutes down a hill and 12 up. So 3 times a day, kind of getting those knees working, Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was a little You get a
Yeah.
crack in there.
Yeah. So you said you had questions.
Well, I think I just did it. I didn't get a lot of practice done being on campus for 4 days, but
Yeah.
but I did do some. And maybe you said this the last time, but I was just trying to be more aware of the qua, of my qua.
Mhm.
In and I was a little surprised at how challenging that was.
Well, it is because in the form it becomes a very small movement,
Yes, yeah.
as does the midriff. Um, and so it particularly in the Wu style, it's even more
Smaller.
internal than
Yes.
whereas in the Yang, everything is bigger, and ideally there's more up and down movement even in the postures. So it is different when you get into the Wu stuff.
Yeah.
But you are still trying. I mean, that's one of the one of the reasons to do no arm practice.
I walked into that one, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
That's okay. That's why we're here.
Because that's exactly what's happening, because if you're focusing on the qua, then what is the qua doing? What is the qua causing to happen? What is the qua doing? What is the qua doing? The qua's doing something all the time.
Yes.
But it's very small. It's not huge.
Right.
But
It's
it's
very
not.
different than in God's.
And even in God's,
Yeah.
it's symmetrical. It's certainly not
Yes.
symmetrical here.
Right.
I mean,
Right. And that was kind of like, whoa, I got this. And then I'm like, where?
well, the movement in God's helps you understand what you're trying to do,
Yes.
hopefully. And then applying it into a form. All of these pieces applied in the form is much more difficult. Much more difficult.
Yeah. It just dawned on me that, where 7 is more form-like in that way, in some way, maybe just because of the way we move our body.
Yeah. So,
And I'm really aware of the qua in a different way in 7.
oh yeah.
Moving from the qua in a different.
And the fact that you're not turning.
Right.
3 is more fun, like.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
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 Yes. Yeah.
It's because you have the shifting from side to side. So
I mean, I think it was the last practice I did, before the last, like I only did a couple, but, it just was like, oh, you don't know why. It was just like, oh, where,
yeah.
why am I not paying more attention to that, or why am I not
And
more aware of that? But just being reminded, it's the smallness of it.
It is
Just
very-
even watching you there was like,
it's all very small. In this, you're not, well, there are a couple of places where we have larger movements, but most of it is very small. And so again, some practice without the arms, I think, can be very helpful.
you're right. I think the hard part is, I don't mind hard parts. It's more the frustration sometimes, right? And that is the
Yeah.
frustrating one to me, because I'm always like, have to visualize where would my arms be, where would my body be? Yeah, and I need to get past that and let my
Yep.
body do that without feeling, because I don't feel led by my arms anymore. Maybe I have not done enough. Don't use your arms, since I didn't feel led by my arms. Maybe that's my challenge.
Well, but that's a big step, that just simply not allowing yourself to be led by your
Right,
arms.
right.
But then the really important thing is to get the legs and the body to control the movement of the arms.
Yeah.
And that, of course, is very much from what's happening from the qua and the dantian.
Yeah.
But in terms of the not only the physical movement, the energetic movement, the qua is really important and needs to be moving all the time. It's part of I didn't go further, but in God's, it even even watching myself from last week, I think I said, "Oh, David, that wasn't so perfect." But it's so easy to get the movement down to be done, and then to get here and the body freezes, but the arm is still going. No.
Yeah.
If the body doesn't move, the arms can't
Right.
move.
Yep.
And the same, so that's exactly the principle in the form.
Right, we're very aware. I'm very aware of it in God's. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's very easy in God's to lose that.
I think the other thing for me is probably just that about, well, you're right, the knees are a little soft today, but are a little sensitive today. But having gotten out of some real other knee and hip problems, not being able to stand on one foot for very long means I adjust in a way that doesn't help. I mean, it helps you keep moving, but especially if you're going slowly. Then you stop. Yeah, then parts of you are moving and parts of you are not.
How do you have an
Well-
empty step when the supporting leg won't? support?
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, when you kind of
And-
need to all of a sudden lean on it or whatever, yeah.
And believe me, I understand that.
I'm sure you do, David, you've had
And at this
lots of challenges there, yeah.
at this stage in our life, you have to accept that's just where we are.
Yeah.
And you guys know Jeff
Yeah,
Rosenberg. He was here yesterday.
really?
Yeah, I got to see him.
Oh, nice.
146 time you see him,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or at next class, whatever.
Well, I'll see
He's
him
just up visiting for a while?
just for a few days.
Yeah.
His mother is up here and not doing well. And unfortunately, Jane had an intestinal. She'd been sick for a couple of days and was going to the doctor yesterday. But I called Jeff, and he, while Kate and Jesse were here, but I told him probably not a good idea
Yeah.
for them to come because I didn't want them to get sick. Because it wasn't a great day for being outside.
Oh, God, no.
So I only got to see Jeff, but he's doing well.
Right.
I mean, but what this brought to mind was I was observing yesterday how much better he does the kicks in the form than I do now.
He's a younger man.
And I accept that. You know, that's where I am. So I connect things as well as I can and minimize the what I would rather not have happening and go on. Just-
Right, no, I think you'd advise me around doing, yeah. Not trying so hard on the kicks, because that was throwing me off.
And I have given up trying to spin
Yes, Yeah.
because I will not fall.
well, that's it, we don't want to fall. I remember practicing spinning on the floor over there, you know, when we.
I used to spin all the time.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
Well, it's also a matter of the shoes in the floor.
well, right, I would bring certain socks, yeah, not the ones that, yeah.
I did it barefoot for a long time, but now my arch supports don't, my arches say, no, you
Yeah.
can't do that.
Well, I also remember trying to learn some things from Jeff where his feet are just very different than.
Oh, well,
Yes, the
he does have an issue.
Yeah.
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 I always wondered what happened with her. That was a birth defect.
Yeah, or sometimes they,
John is like that too.
Uh,
And his knees tend to knock and his feet tend to go out.
sometimes now I
Husband
think they
always
put
like-
kids in braces when they sleep and things to move things more in alignment, but if you don't do it when you're little, you're not gonna.
no,
Yeah.
no. So I learned to accept Jeff's foot position. You know, it's funny that I realized that when I was first teaching, that I was much more rigid about things like that. And it was people like Jeff who taught me that everybody can't do that.
Right.
Well, you know, since my knee replacement, this foot, I can turn it straight, but it doesn't want to stay there.
Uh-huh.
It's slightly off.
Well, we have to adjust to what our bodies are.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
So, you want to try a little bit,
Armless.
armless? Or
Or go home and work on that this weekend. And
I am happy to go, yeah, my worry is my knees more than anything right
Okay.
now, they do hurt. As
So-
you can see me.
so really
Massaging
try
them.
to do some practice of that this week and
Let's
we'll
do
really
that.
look at it.
Yes,
next week.
I think that's a good idea. You said you did it armless this week, you do it armless occasionally.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I've been using the short form lately.
Yes, I never,
Cause it
Took the short
gets,
form.
it gets wave hands in there.
right, no,
And,
yeah,
It's,
Yeah, the short form is pretty good. It doesn't have everything, but it's
Yeah.
30 postures. So there are two short forms actually. I don't care for the second one. Somebody in the past, basically what they did was divide up the postures in the form and they made one where it did one group of postures and the other one does the other postures, which then makes
I
it
see.
easier to learn the long form. It was another approach. I never cared for the second
interesting.
part of it, the second version. So because I worked on it for a while and then I said, no, I'm
Your heart's not in it.
not gonna use that. So, but the first one, I think, the 30 posture, which starts with the beginning, then I think it's
Wow.
quite good.
Hmm.
So that's what the Tuesday class, for instance, is focusing on.
Right,
and you know all the postures, so.
Yeah.
I
it's
know,
just a
how
matter
to
of,
make- yeah, right.
okay, instead of doing all the brush knees, you go straight into
Down and under.
down
Uh-huh.
under and wave hands. And then you do that whole segment, the whole wave hands.
Yeah,
From number 2. And after the second gargoyle, you go straight into the end.
oh, okay, yeah,
So
yeah, and so you're not repeating the things that because there's so many.
it's no
repetition.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But it's
Right.
But it gives you the the confidence to say on a day when you're not don't have much time to just put down to the short one, or I'm doing the flow, it's not going well. Why don't I just transition into the
Yeah.
closing?
I've done that, Carol. Absolutely. Yep. Okay,
All right.
ladies, thank you
Great.
very much.
Thank you. You know, the thing I just dawned on me about the knees too is we haven't had rain in a long
And
time,
now we just had a full winter.
and the moisture
Yep.
gets in. That's why people move to Arizona.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Really, people with arthritis. Rick's father had lung problems, I think probably since the Second World War. And yeah, they went to visit his brother who was in down in 29 Palms. And the car died in Lake Havasu City, and they really loved it and then decided that's where they'd retire to. Like his lungs cleared up pretty.
Wow.
I know, like you could tell the difference in the 3
Yeah.
days they were there, kind of things, opposed to all the moisture here. So probably would never want to move to what is it, Seattle?
Big around. John Lee he comes to All Souls, and he said to say hello.
Oh, good.
They've got somebody else teaching at the senior center, but I don't know who.
Uh-huh. Oh, good.
Don't think I'll in the afternoon.
I haven't told anybody else, and I haven't got these framed yet, but Jonas made another calligraphy presentation to me. Two matched their actually the paper is red with gold flick in it.
Oh.
And he has a student who not the woman who did that one, but a student who does calligraphy, and they had him do it, and it is the meaning is really powerful. And I was really honored that he gave these to me. I don't. I'm really surprised at how much Jonas seems to like me. Respect me, I guess.
Respect, that's a great word, yes.
So I at some point will get these done. I already typed up the page with the meanings because it's
Lovely.
it's really lovely. Basically, it's saying if you fully comprehend and incorporate both the 8 gates and the 5 elements, you can actually become aware of the universal or the Tao.
Mm.
It's kind of the combined.
I have a couple of friends who are in this class who really love it. A lot of fun. Yeah.
I know I have there's a young man down the road here. He's an acupuncturist. He works in an office in Old Saybrook, but he was really had a serious drug problem, and when he was just out of high school, and a little beyond that, and his parents got him to come and study with me. I don't know how they convinced him to do that, but I took him on, and he really got into it, and it changed his life.
That's great.
He went on to study acupuncture in New York, and he studied with a teacher there, and now he's studying with Jonas.
Oh, lovely.
And I see him every once in a while. I was out walking yesterday, and I was sitting on that big rock on the side of the road. It's one of my resting points. And he came walking up, and we chatted for a while. Just, it's so nice to see him doing so well. He's married now, and just really a happy, contented person. And when I first knew him, he was he was in trouble.
Yeah, it sounds like.
He
Not
was in
doing
trouble.
drugs unless you're.
But it's wonderful that he was willing to try.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He,
there was something in there.
he reached a point where he was ready to. And Tai Chi's, well, he's studied other things that Jonas know, but all these things and principles have been really important for
Yep.
him. So it's one of those things that just why we do this.
Right, you're right. You're right. I
Yeah.
think that practices, this is really important.
Yeah.
I was telling Carol, at this conference, saw one of the speakers, is a man named Kazu Haga, who, I was his first nonviolence trainer when he was 19. And I was not his only influence on nonviolence, but he had been influenced by the monks at the Peace Pagoda where I had been the week before, you know? And in his book, Fierce Vulnerability, one of the things he's talking about in terms of the practice of nonviolence and the importance of understanding trauma and healing are the personal practices, which really Gandhi saw nonviolence as holistic in a way that I think we Westerners, or too many Westerners, are like, just think of it as civil disobedience or
Yeah.
or kind of some other philosophical thing, you know, where it's much more holistic. And so when I said I've been practicing Tai Chi for about 24 years, I'm not surprised. But I think it does sustain me in so many ways
Yeah.
to do this work, not just to be able to do this work, but to do this work, to kind of give me that deeper, depth of all the aspects of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has always been incredible to me what you do.
The Energizer Bunny here. But some people pick up on that and you have such a spirit. And I know what they're saying, you know.
Yeah.
It's also just the energy of it. So. Although this weekend, I don't know why, at least 4 people said, I love your hair. Who knows? It's not a thing a lot of professors do, I guess, is keep their hair long. They have to be a little more informed, you know, and I'm not gonna, I don't.
I guess so.
Yeah,
and you seem to have managed to not have your part be bald.
yeah, no, I moved it around a few times, so it used to be more here. Yeah, I know that kind of. That I heard that Donald Trump's biggest crisis now is this picture of him in Time magazine with his bald spot showing. I'm like, okay, really? Like, just worry about Middle East peace for a while, will you?
Right.
It's not the top of your head. But you're right, it's moving it around.
I was so glad the Nobel Peace Prize did not go to you.
Yeah, I think it was, and I don't think it will either, but
The people who award those.
I couldn't believe they would. But
I also noticed that in his talk, the day of the day they signed the agreement, he referred to Steve, whatever his name is, the guy who's the head, as another Henry Kissinger, and Henry Kissinger got the Nobel Peace Prize, which says it means nothing. He got it because of the end of Vietnam War, but of course he also helps, make it terrible. So that kind of, he didn't get it for, killing Allende and causing 18 years of Pinochet dictatorship in Chile. But anyway. Well, on this note,
it may be time to go.
we really need real peace, not that fake peace.
I need to go make sure.
we certainly do.
All right. Ooh. Ouch. What is the Quana? What's the news?
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Did I bring in just one more?